This court will come to order. Our next case is the state versus Barbara Johnson. Are the attorneys for both parties present?
The charge is willful destruction of public property, Your Honor.
Hi, I'm Barbara Johnson and I will be representing myself in this matter, Your Honor.
You realize that, if you can't afford an attorney, one could be appointed for you by the state, Ms. Johnson?
I quite understand, Your Honor. I just prefer to represent myself.
Then, you are aware of the old saying, anyone who represents himself in court has a fool for a lawyer?
Yes, I've heard that saying, Your Honor. But I have what I think is a very convincing defense.
Very well. I see you've decided to waive the jury trial.
Yes, Your Honor. I trust you.
Your confidence is overwhelming. Let's hear the evidence. Call your first witness, counselor.
The state calls.
I'm prepared to save the state a great deal of time and money, Your Honor.
You what?
The defense will stipulate to the charges as filed.
But you pleaded not guilty.
That's right.
But by stipulating to the charges as filed, you admit that you threw a brick through the window of the Department of Motor Vehicles.
After I stood in 3 different lines. The clerk at the 3rd window told me that my paperwork wasn't complete. She told me I'd have to come back another day and stand in line again.
Objection. A reason for breaking the law is not an excuse for breaking the law.
Objection sustained.
Oh, that's not my defense, Your Honor. I take full responsibility for losing my cool and breaking the window.
You do?
She does?
Yes.
In that case, the prosecution rests, I guess.
Then I guess we're ready for defense arguments.
Good. I have a whole box full of arguments, Your Honor. You see, I had the trial delayed for 3 months, so I could collect all of these letters.
Letters? Letters from whom?
Well, let's start with this one. To whom it may concern. I am a little old lady whose husband died recently. And I had no one to mow my lawn. Your defendant, Barbara Johnson, has mowed my lawn every week for the last month.
Objection. I fail to see how mowing a lawn.
4 times. I mowed her lawn 4 times during the month. She didn't make that clear in her letter.
Regardless, I fail to see how mowing a lawn any number of times is connected to breaking a window.
If the court will allow me to read a few more letters, the connection will become crystal clear, Your Honor.
Ms. Johnson, I have other cases pending. I'm not going to let you take up the court's time reading a whole box full of letters.
Please, Your Honor, let me read a few more. It will only take a moment.
Very well, I'll let you have some latitude here. But I'd better see a connection here soon.
Yes, Your Honor. To whom it may concern. During the past 2 months, your defendant, Barbara Johnson, has volunteered 43 hours at our orphanage, reading to the younger children and playing.
Objection, same grounds.
Your Honor, if you'll just let me read one more letter. To whom it may concern. During the past 2 months, your defendant, Barbara Johnson, has single-handedly picked up all the roadside trash along 3rd Street from 2nd Avenue to 6th Avenue.
Objection, same grounds.
Wait. I'm not done yet. Millisecond Johnson repeated this trash pickup 3 times during the month of.
If it will help to move things along, Your Honor, the state will stipulate that the box is full of testimonial letters equal to or greater than those she's already read.
Thank you. I did a total of 814 good deeds since the incident in question.
Very good. The state will stipulate to each and every one. Now, may I renew my objection?
Is there a point to all of these letters, Ms. Johnson?
Well, I would have thought the impact would be obvious by now, Your Honor.
I must be dense. Explain it to me.
Well, since the incident in question, I have done good deeds far exceeding the value of the damage done to public property.
And that's your defense?
Yes. I thought I did a pretty good job.
Well, you were wrong, Ms. Johnson. I'm sorry you didn't consult a lawyer. You seem to have the misconception of what justice is all about.
I don't understand.
Your problem is, you're comparing apples with oranges. You're confusing feeling guilty with being guilty. Perhaps doing good deeds will help you to feel less guilty. but good deeds do nothing to reduce the seriousness of the crime. In the eyes of the law, your 814 good deeds may as well have been 814 filthy rags.
But all my work.
I'm sorry. I hereby sentence the defendant to.
Wait.
Yes?
I have no choice but to haul out my big guns.
Your big guns?
I had 3 certificates of baptism.
Baptism?
Baptism?
In one baptism I was sprinkled by a priest who has ties to the Pope. In the second baptism I was immersed by a pastor who pronounced the word God with 2 syllables. In the third, just to be on the safe side, I was immersed by a pastor who speaks in tongues.
Objection. Same grounds.
Wait. This paper certifies that on my second baptism, I remained immersed for 2 minutes and 12 seconds. That's a personal best for me.
Objection sustained. Ms. Johnson. Baptism is required as a ritual of the church, but even in the church it does nothing to remove your guilt under the law.
All right, in that case, I have a certificate showing that I confessed all my sins, including breaking the window.
Objection. Same grounds.
But I confessed to a priest, a rabbi and a Protestant minister.
Objection sustained. Ms. Johnson. Confession is good for the soul. The Bible says that it even brings healing. But it has no value in removing your guilt under the law.
All right, in that case, I have a certificate showing that I have received communion every morning for 6 weeks.
Objection. Same grounds.
Objection sustained. Ms. Johnson, I'm sure that spending so much time in church makes you a better person. But communion has no value in removing your guilt under the law.
All right, in that case, I have the coup de grace.
The coup de grace?
A certificate that says that I have received the sacrament of extreme unction.
Objection. Wait a minute. Extreme unction? What's that?
I have no idea. All I know is that it took me 5 shampooing to wash the olive oil out of my hair.
The sacrament of extreme unction is performed on terminally ill and injured people. I'm not sure about its origin, but it's not even in the Bible. And it certainly has no effect in removing guilt under the law.
Oh. I thought I had you. There must be something I can do to remove my guilt.
Yes, I suppose you can get a higher authority to commute your sentence or pardon you altogether. But until then, you are stuck with your guilt. I hereby sentence you to 3 days in jail. This court is adjourned.
Wait. Tell me about this higher authority. How do I get a pardon, Your Honor?
Based on a play by Bob Snook. Conditions for use: do not sell any part of this script, even if you rewrite it.
Pay no royalties, even if you make money from performances.
You may reproduce and distribute this script freely, but all copies must contain this copyright statement.